This is the afternoon edition of the Weather Xtreme video for Monday, the 16th of December. I'm James Spann. Alabama's weather dry through midweek. The big question involves the weekend ahead. It will be warm. Could there be strong to severe storms on Saturday and Sunday? And what about the weather for Christmas? Let's get in there and take a look. We'll peek out the window with our Skycam network this afternoon. We'll start with a view coming from Fayette. A day of blue sky and sunshine up in northwest Alabama. Very similar sky down in Dallas County at Selma, overlooking the Alabama River. And from Gadsden, a bright sunny day in Etowah County. The upper pattern still features a big trough over the east, but that will de-amplify in coming days, allowing for a nice warm-up down this way. Temperatures are mostly in the 50s at mid-afternoon. Birmingham 56, the average high 57, so that's about where we should be. The warm spots, Tuscaloosa and Alexander City, where they have 60. Around the nation, still very cold around the Great Lakes. They're only in the teens and 20s at mid-afternoon. But around here, warmth is going to be the story. In fact, here's a look at the projected temperatures for the next 5 days coming off Buffkit data. And you can see that we go up into the 70-degree range by the time the weekend arrives on Saturday, possibly Sunday. And maybe even Friday flirting with 70. That red line is the average high, which would be mid to upper 50s. But then the numbers drop off a good bit early next week as we get into Christmas week. Watch warning map, pretty quiet. Little clipper could bring some snow to parts of Pennsylvania, Michigan, New York City, New Jersey, the coast of Connecticut. Also down to the south, frost advisories down around Jacksonville, Florida, Brunswick, Georgia, where it's going to be a cold night tonight. Here's the rain for the next 7 days. This is suggesting rain amounts of 3.5 inches or so near the Ohio River. Rain amounts down this way between 2 and 3 inches possible over the weekend. And let's take a look at modeling. The GFS, the 12Z run, valid at noon tomorrow. And this is at 500 millibars. Still pretty good troughing over the Great Lakes. And down below, that little clipper-type feature could bring maybe some light snow to parts of the Great Lakes and Pennsylvania, New York, around New York City. But around here, the day tomorrow should be sunny. Now, we start the day down around freezing. I think we'll be in the low to mid-30s tomorrow morning, a high in the 60-degree range. And this is Wednesday. In the wake of that clipper, the air could be a little cooler on Wednesday, with highs maybe dropping back in the 50s. So the high Wednesday might drop maybe 4 or 5 degrees. The morning will be cold. Will be around freezing early Wednesday with 20s for the colder spots. But Thursday, the really pronounced warming trend begins. I think we'll see low to mid 60s. The sky will stay partly to mostly sunny. And this is Friday. Really, there could be a shower Friday, but widespread rain does not appear to be a problem. As we've still got the main dynamic support way west of here. And it should be pretty mild, highs in the mid to upper 60s, likely on Friday. But all right, let's take a look at the weekend situation. This is Saturday at noon, and again, this is off the 12Z GFS. We've got this upper feature lifting out of Old Mexico, opening up into a wave over Texas. And down below that, a surface low spins up somewhere down around Waco, Texas, 999 millibars. And a warm front is lifting north ahead of that surface low through North Alabama. In advance of the warm front, there could be some rain, maybe Friday night or Saturday morning. And it could be there's a break in the rain Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening. And maybe the sun even breaking out if the warm front passes north of here, which we think will happen. And if the warm front passes north of here, a good chance we'll see highs up in the low to mid 70s, a very balmy day. And of course, anytime you see 70s and those higher dew points in December, you have to watch for severe weather. This is Saturday night at midnight. The surface low is near Little Rock, Arkansas on the journey northeast. And we're clearly in the warm sector of the developing storm, and that's when we'll have to watch for the potential for some strong to severe storms late Saturday night. And this is Sunday at midday. The surface low is near Buffalo, New York, with the storms beginning to exit the state. So this run suggesting the main window for the organized storms, or at least the strong storm threat, perhaps around midnight Saturday night until noon Sunday. It could rain other parts of the weekend, but in terms of any severe weather threat, that would seem to be the primary window. We'll check the European. This is Sunday at noon, and it's clearly slower. It's got the surface low near Columbus, Ohio, 995 millibars with the trailing front down through here. And it's suggesting it could be maybe Sunday afternoon before the stronger storms get in here. And with a surface low farther north, that would be perhaps not as great of a severe weather threat. Clearly, there's a chance of strong storms one way or the other. But as you can see, the timing and the magnitude, the modes of severe weather, all of this is still uncertain. Once we get to Wednesday, we'll have a pretty good feel for this. We'll check some of the severe weather parameters. This is Sunday morning at 6 o'clock. And based on the GFS, this is when that main batch of storms could be coming through. And, of course, the good thing, if it does come through at that hour of the day, the air tends to be a little more stable. This is the surface-based CAPE, or instability, showing a tongue of CAPE values in excess of 750 joules, almost up to Montgomery. This is the lifted index off the GFS. And, again, this is an instability look, and it's got the numbers going negative all the way up to Kentucky. But if we see dew points up in the 60s, no doubt there could be some degree of instability. How much we would see at 6 o'clock on a Sunday morning remains to be seen at this point. Now, some of the other parameters are very impressive. This is the wind field at 850 millibars, the low-level jet, about 5,000 feet off the ground. And we've got a low-level jet of 70 knots through parts of North Alabama. And that could translate down to the surface fairly easily. So even if there's no tornado threat, there could be a threat of strong, maybe damaging straight-line winds. And this is the low-level shear, the bulk shear between the surface and 925 millibars. And again, those numbers are very high right on top of us, and that would suggest there might be some risk of tornadoes. So at the moment, it looks like there will be a chance of strong to severe storms over the weekend. Perhaps the better chance would be Saturday night into Sunday morning, but that timing could change. And again, in terms of the specifics of the magnitude of the threat and the modes of severe weather, we'd prefer to wait until really Wednesday morning to kind of go out with that, but still just something to watch as we approach the weekend. Now, this is Monday of next week. All the rain's gone. We have cold air advection. Highs will probably drop into the upper 40s and low 50s with a chilly north wind. Christmas Eve, Tuesday of next week, sunny and cool. And Christmas Day, same thing. Temperatures ought to be exactly where they should be. Highs in the 50s, lows in the 30s. The sky should be mostly sunny. And if you're dreaming of a white Christmas, no. Not happening around here. In fact, really much of the country would be relatively dry. Looks like your better chance of getting any snow on Christmas Day would be around the lake effect snow belts, Erie, Pennsylvania, Buffalo, New York, and places like that. We'll check the end of the forecast. Hey, this is 1/1/2014. Could it be? We're forecasting the weather for 2014 already. Yeah, we are. Troughing north and west of the state, a departing front. Change to colder weather, but of course this will probably change, and that there's no skill in a specific forecast set that far in advance. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video this afternoon. We'll have notes in the blog. Next video here by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. If you can, catch us on ABC 3340 News this evening on the live stream or the television side at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a wonderful evening, and God bless.